Today's baseball glove and baseball will be the topic of our tutorial. We're going to start off with it being in a basic starburst fashion. I, however, do my charms a little differently than most. I take a single band, which is the band that we use to tie it off in the end, and I let it dangle over the edge of the loom. We're going to make a basic starburst pattern where we begin at the center peg and come to the left peg down one, left peg over one. We want to begin at the right peg, or center peg, I'm sorry, and come over to the right peg down one, right peg off to the center. Basic starburst shape is what I have created here on the loom using single dark brown bands. Now we're going to begin to form the center of our glove, in which we will be using two caramel colored bands. I decided to do my glove in two colors, so we're placing two caramel colored bands here from the center peg down one peg. It's a little tricky than the basic starburst. You're going to take a single band, give it a little tug and stretch, place it on your center band, off to the left, and do a single twist around this left peg. Once again, that was single band, placed on the center, off to the left, and give it a twist around the left peg. We're going to do the same thing on the right side. A single band placed on the center peg, off to the right, and a one-time twist around the right upper peg. To finish off the middle of the glove, we're going to take two bands placed on the center peg and down to the bottom. Take a single dark brown band, place it on your bottom peg, and we're going to cap this off 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. Let's review. Single band, single band, single band, single band, single band, and single band. Basic starburst pattern. 2 bands coming from the top peg to the center, a single band with a twist, a single band with a twist, and double bands coming from the center to the base with a 3-time cap band. Going to begin looming, so reach into your cap band and get whichever bands are on top. They should be the 2 medium colored brown bands, and I did not hold my cap band down, so it has slid off on me. So I'm just going to basically start over again with that step right there. I'm sorry for the fumbling. Center peg, back down. We all have done this multiple times, no big deal. 1, 2, 3 time cap band. I've just replaced the items that just fell off, and we're going to begin looming again. And reach into that cap band, and I'm going to be sure to hold it down this time, and grab my 2 center bands and go forward. You want to reach into your center peg and get whichever band is on top. In my case, it is the right one, and I come off to the right, center peg, grab something extra there that I didn't want, so I'm just going to push everything back down. So I'm reaching back into my center peg, got my single band, and I'm going off to the left, center peg again. This is the double bands coming forward. And then we're going to finish off our starburst, reaching into the center cap band, off to my right, basic starburst border going on here. I'm going to reach back into my cap band and finish off the left side. Get hooked up there. Coming up the left side. Coming up the left side to the center. I want to hold on to the band that we had dangling over here. Reach into your center peg, pull that out a little bit, and tie your slip knot right there. Tuck your finger in the end so nothing falls off. I always use the end of my crochet hook to go into the bands and pull them off the pegs. That way nothing snaps as you're finishing up. And just basically pull off your glove, give it a little tug, fiddle with it just a little bit, and get your border bands off to the side. That's going to give it the effect that it is the edge of your baseball glove. And we're going to be putting a baseball right here in the center, and I'm going to show you I'm not going to say easier because it's not easier, but I'm going to show you two different ways to tie knots. In order to make the baseball that I have in the center of the glove, it is 2 bands tied in a knot in the center. The easy way to do it is to stretch out your 2 bands, hold on to them, and tie them. You want to get just a basic knot in the center of your 2 bands. And when you fold it back onto each other, it looks like a baseball with a little bit more fiddling. After tying so many knots to make my tennis bracelet jewelry and my diamond wedding band, the tutorials that I have on my website, I was like, I've got to find an easier way to tie a knot because my fingers were so sore. So I decided I was going to try to do it on the loom. Take 2 bands, place it on a lower peg. You can use any pegs for this. I just find that the right side's easier. Loop it around. You're taking both bands around the upper peg, and you're going to come back off to a peg at the left. Let's review that one more time. 2 bands placed on a lower peg, completely loop it around. You're taking both bands around and looping around that upper peg and bringing it off to the left. Reach into your upper peg, grab one of the bands, and give a little tug up through that center peg, center upper peg, and then release from the left, release from the top, and here we have our knot tied on our loom. Let's review that one more time. 2 bands placed on a lower peg, looping around the right peg, or upper peg, I'm sorry, the upper peg, and coming off to the left. Take your hook, reach into your upper peg, grab just a side, and pull through. Release from the left, release your upper, release your lower, and there we have a knot tied on a rainbow loom, and it's not hurting my fingers. Okay, to continue on with the baseball aspect, take your knot, release it off the hook, grab your mitt, put it through the back. I take both ends of my knot and place it back on my hook and double it over. So you've speared your mitt, you've placed your knot on, and now we're just going to gently be pulling through our bands to the back. You can secure it with a C-clip, or you can also just tie it off. For today's purposes, and since my action figures don't truly get used and moved around, I'm just leaving it as it is. In order to make it more look like a baseball, take a marker, red ink pen, Sharpies work great, and you just want to kind of put little tick marks on a few of the bands to make it look like the tick marks that would be on your baseball. Please remember that these are little rubber bands. They're not going to look exactly like it, but when you put your mitt and your ball on your action figure, we're going to have a very cute set. Look forward to more tutorials from Crafty Ladybugs. Thanks, and I hope you'll visit again soon.